Merry Ground, which at first sounded warm and full of light, suddenly become the center of debate after one voice finally broke the silence. And most shockingly, why is it that when BTS once again dominates global attention, it is not a grand stage performance or a massive album release shaking the world, but a sharp remark written in an unusual tone by Jungkook about the mysterious Merry Ground project belonging to V? On Tuesday afternoon, March 3rd, 2026, Korean time, the atmosphere within the fan community shifted dramatically. There was no major announcement, no official teaser from the agency, no countdown clock, which usually accompanies every big step the members take. V, Kim Taehyung, appeared suddenly on Fan Cafe. There was no long live broadcast, no dramatic concept photos, just one short comment left on the community wall. Brief, mysterious, vague enough to be interpreted in countless ways. Yet it was precisely that simplicity that made it feel like a hidden clue. Merry Ground. Two words that ignited a small spark, quickly spreading across timelines worldwide. ARMY began speculating. Was this the title of a song? An album? A secret concert? A global collaboration? Or was it something more personal, deeper, more emotional than a commercial release? But speculation had not yet reached its peak when another comment appeared. And this time, it wasn't from just anyone. Jungkook, who is known for rarely responding openly to internal speculation, finally spoke. Not with a long explanation, not with an official clarification, but with a tone that felt different, sharper, more honest, more raw. Why did he choose to speak now? And why did his comment feel like a subtle yet piercing rebuke? ARMY members who read Jungkook's response admitted they sensed something unusual. Some described it as internal banter. Others interpreted it as a thinly veiled hint of disagreement. And still others saw it as a genuine expression that could no longer be contained. His sentence was simple, but the structure of his words, his choice of diction, and the timing of its appearance led many to ask, was this just a casual interaction, or was there something deeper happening behind the scenes? For years, the dynamic between Jungkook and V has been a topic of warm discussion. They grew up together under the intense pressures of the industry, sharing stages, rehearsals, world tours, and private moments only they truly understand. They are often seen as two individuals with contrasting personalities who somehow perfectly complement each other. V, the artistic dreamer who speaks in metaphors. Jungkook, the perfectionist, rational and direct, focused on concrete results. Those differences have long been viewed as one of their greatest strengths, but when Merry Ground appeared without context, without detailed explanation, and only as a vague signal, Jungkook did not seem to choose silence. Did he feel the need to correct public perception? Did he believe the project was being hinted at too soon, without sufficient preparation? Or was he trying to ensure that public expectations remain controlled? Some observers of Korean pop culture argue that in an industry as structured as K-pop, spontaneity rarely happens without careful thought. Every post, every comment, even every emoji often goes through extended discussion. So when V appeared out of nowhere and dropped those two mysterious words, many believed it was a calculated move. Yet Jungkook's response felt more personal, more reflective, and less corporate. That is where the tension began to take shape. ARMY fell silent not because of an open conflict, but because of ambiguity. There was no official statement declaring a problem.
No harsh denial.
No lengthy clarification from the agency. Only a brief exchange significant enough to divide the online world into two camps of interpretation. One side called it a refreshing moment of honesty. In this view, Jungkook was showing his professional side, someone who does not want a project teased before it is fully ready. He wants quality. He wants certainty. He wants results that are truly prepared before becoming public consumption. If that is true, then his comment was not a jab, but a reflection of responsibility. The other side sensed a deeper emotional undertone. Why did his tone feel slightly colder than usual? Why did the timing coincide with rising speculation about each member's solo activities? And most unsettling of all, Could this be a sign that their creative directions are beginning to move along different paths? Merry Ground itself has now become something larger than just two words. It has turned into a metaphor for artistic freedom, personal exploration, and the strengthening individual identities of each member. V has long been known as someone unafraid to take artistic risks. From experimental music projects to distinctive visual explorations, he consistently steps outside his comfort zone. If Merry Ground is part of that exploration, it would not be surprising that he chose an unconventional way to introduce it. Jungkook, meanwhile, has also grown rapidly as a global solo artist. He is recognized for his high discipline, strict quality control, and careful calculation before every public move. When these two approaches meet in the public space without detailed explanation, interpretive friction becomes inevitable. This conflict. Or simply a natural creative dynamic between two mature individuals with strong, independent visions. What makes the situation even more dramatic is the collective silence of millions of fans. There was no massive wave of aggressive defense. No large-scale #war. Instead, there was analytical quiet. Long threads appeared, dissecting every word, every punctuation mark, every possible hidden meaning. Some even revisited old interviews, searching for communication patterns between the two. Academically speaking, the phenomenon is fascinating. In digital communication studies, brief interactions between public figures can create far greater emotional resonance than lengthy statements.
Ambiguïté fuel participation.
Uncertainty drives collective interpretation. And when the figures involved share a long history together, even the slightest tonal shift can feel monumental. Yet beyond analysis and theory, there is a human dimension that cannot be ignored. Jungkook and V are not merely symbols or digital avatars. They are individuals who have endured extraordinary pressure since a young age. They grew up under global scrutiny. Every expression is read, interpreted, even dissected publicly. In such an environment, even a small moment of honesty can feel like a major declaration. Could Jungkook simply have been joking? Of course. Could he have been trying to prevent expectations from rising too quickly? Very possible. Could there have been private conversations beforehand that we will never know about? That, too, is entirely possible. What is certain is that Merry Ground is no longer just V's mysterious project. It has become a mirror reflecting dynamics, expectations, and sensitivities within a group as massive as BTS. And when Jungkook finally spoke, he was not merely responding to two words. He was responding to a wave of hope, speculation, and perhaps pressure surrounding them. Amid all of this, one question lingers. Are we witnessing the beginning of a bold new chapter of individual exploration, or simply a small moment amplified by a digital ecosystem hungry for drama? ARMY may be silent, but their silence is not indifference. It is a pause to understand, a pause to wait for clarification, a pause to see whether Merry Ground will truly emerge as a tangible work or remain a symbol of one afternoon that shifted the conversation. As the days pass, public attention sharpens toward the next move. Will V offer a more detailed explanation? Will Jungkook respond again? Or will they both choose to let the work speak for itself? In the fast-moving world of global entertainment, moments like this rarely last long. Yet, because of its ambiguity, this one leaves a deeper emotional trace. Because ultimately, what connects fans is not only music or stages, but real dynamics, spontaneity, and the feeling of witnessing something